In practice set 1.3, we will first look at what are determinants. To understand what are determinants, I'll take an example. If you look at this, I have taken four numbers 3, 5, 2 and minus 3. If you observe the arrangement, the numbers are arranged in rows and columns and they are enclosed within two vertical lines. If you look at the first row, which I represent using R1, first row has number 3 and 5. Look at the second row, which I represent using R2. It has number 2 and minus 3. Now look at the first column, which I will represent using C1. The first column has number 3 and 2. Now look at the second column, which I represent using C2. It has 5 and minus 3. So in this particular example, if you observe this, the numbers are arranged in terms of rows and columns and the numbers are enclosed within two vertical lines. So such arrangement of number is known as determinants. Also remember, to represent a determinant, we take help of any capital alphabet. So in this example, I will say determinant D is equal to 3, 5, 2 minus 3 is the determinant. So now after this, we'll move on to the next part, that is how to solve a determinant. To understand this, I'll take an example from your book itself, a solved example. There's a determinant given to you, capital A is equal to. The determinant is 5, 3, 7, 9. Again, if you look at this, the numbers are arranged in rows and columns enclosed within two vertical lines. So this is a determinant. Now to solve the determinant, look at this. The method is, first you look at this element and you multiply this element with the diagonal element. So to solve this, we will multiply 5 with its diagonal element, that is 9. So this is the first calculation. After this, we subtract. Now look at this element, that is 3. Multiply 3 with its diagonal element. So we will subtract 3 into 7. If you solve this, 5 into 9 will be 45 minus 3 into 7 is 21, which turns out to be 24. So the value of this determinant A turns out to be 24. I hope this is clear to you. Again, I'll take one more example. The determinant is capital N, which is given as minus 8, minus 3, 2 and 4. Now to solve this, the method is same. First you look at this element, you will write this element minus 8 and you multiply this with the diagonal element, that is 4. So multiply 8 with 4. This is the first calculation and then we subtract. Now look at this element, that is minus 3. So multiply minus 3 with its diagonal element, that is 2. Minus 3 multiplied with 2. 8 into 4 is 32, plus minus will be minus. Now minus 3 into 2 is minus 6. So if you solve this, minus 32 minus minus will be plus, which is equal to minus 26. So the value turns out to be, the value of determinant N is minus 26. This is how you solve the determinant. You just need to remember the sequence. Remember this arrow. First you multiply this element with its diagonal element, then you subtract, you multiply this element with its diagonal element. Even if you remember this arrow, you can easily solve the determinant. Now without wasting any time, we'll move on to the practice set, in which the very first question is an activity in which a determinant is given to you. I'll copy the determinant 3, 2, 4, 5. Now some part of the question is already done. We need to fill the empty boxes. So I'll copy this. Before solving this, I'll solve the determinant and then we'll proceed with the answer. So what is the method? We look at the first element and we multiply this with the diagonal element. So 3 multiplied with 5, this is the first calculation, then we subtract. After this, we look at this element, that is 2. Multiply 2 with 4. 2 multiplied with 4. This will give me 15 minus 8. If you solve this, the answer is 7. Now we have the calculation, we'll just fill the empty boxes. 3 will be multiplied with 5, that is the diagonal element, 3 into 5. Then minus 2 is multiplied with 4. So here the value is 2. After solving this, 3 into 5 will be 15, and if you subtract 8 from 15, this is 7. This is the answer for the practice set 1.3, question number 1, that is an activity. We'll move on to the next sum. In this particular question, we have 3 determinants, and the question says find the values of the following determinants. So we'll start with the solution. The first question is, I assume that the determinant is capital A, minus 1, 7, 2, 4. Now to solve this, the method is multiply this element with its diagonal element and then subtract 7 into 2. So the value will be minus 1 multiplied with 4 minus 7 into 2. So this is minus 4 minus 14, which is minus 18. I hope this is clear to you. Achha, one more thing. To represent the magnitude or the answer of the determinant, we use this symbol. We write the alphabet enclosed within two vertical lines. So this is the representation for the final answer of the determinant after we solve it. Now we'll look at the next sum. I assume that the determinant is B, which is 5, 3, minus 7, 0. So to find the value of this determinant, we'll use this symbol B enclosed within two vertical lines. The method is same, multiply this with 0, 5 multiplied with 0, then minus 3 into minus 7, 3 into minus 7. So this is 0 minus 3 into minus 7 is minus 21. So minus minus will be plus, the answer is 21. The value of determinant B is 21. I hope this is clear to you. Moving on to the third sum. In this, the numbers are actually fractions. 7 by 3, 5 by 3, next is 3 by 2, and the last is 1 by 2. The method is again same. We'll multiply the diagonal elements. I assume that the determinant is C. So the representation will be C enclosed within two vertical lines is equal to, we will multiply 7 by 3 with half, then we subtract 5 by 3 multiplied with 3 by 2. I hope this is clear to you till now. If you multiply this, this will be 7 upon 6 minus 15 upon 6. If you observe, the denominators are same, so I'll take the denominator as common, which is 6. So 17 minus 15, this will be minus 8 upon 6. If you simplify this, I'll erase this. The answer was minus 8 upon 6. If you simplify this, 2 multiplied with 3 is 6, and this is minus 4. So the answer is minus 4 upon 3. You can leave the answer in fraction. There's no issue with this. So with this, we complete the question number 1 and question number 2. After this, from question number 3, we will use Cramer's rule. Which is again very easy. If you know what are determinants and how to solve the determinant, you can easily use Cramer's rule to find the solution of any two linear equation in two variables. So now we will look at what is Cramer's rule. This is basically a method by which we can find the solution of any given simultaneous equation. So before discussing about Cramer's rule, we'll look at the general form of any linear equation. If you remember the basic, any linear equation can be represented as ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. In this, we know that c is a constant, a is the coefficient of x, and b is the coefficient of b. This type of equation represents a linear equation in standard form. So for using Cramer's rule, there is some changes. If the equation is given to you in this format, so what we need to do is we need to shift the constant on the right hand side. You need to remember the condition is, this is very important, the linear equations should be written in this format: ax plus by is equal to c. What it means, if you observe both the equations, in this particular equation, the constant is in the left hand side, and in this particular equation the constant is on the right hand side. So this is very important, you need to remember. If you want to use Cramer's rule, so whatever the equation is given to you, make sure that the constant is on the right hand side. I hope this is clear to you. Now to understand what is Cramer's rule, we'll take an example from your book itself. I'll take a solved example so that things are clear to you. I'll take a simultaneous equation. First equation is 5x plus 3y is equal to minus 11, and the second equation is 2x plus 4y is equal to minus 10. Now these are two simultaneous equations. Now the first step is we need to identify whether the equation is given in this format, in which means the constant is on the right hand side. If you observe both the equations, the constant is already on the right hand side, so you don't have to make any changes, it is already in the required form. So now the very first step is to find a determinant D. Now how to form this determinant D? Determinant D is of the order 2 cross 2. It means it will have 2 rows and 2 columns. Now how to form the first column? If you observe the x term in both the equations, I can say 5 is the coefficient of x in this equation and 2 is the coefficient of x in this equation. So the first column will have coefficient of x. First element is 5 and the second element will be 2. I hope this is clear to you. Now moving on to the next variable is y. In this equation I can say 3 is the coefficient of y, and for this equation 4 is the coefficient of y. So the second column of this determinant will be coefficient of y. So this is 3 and 4. I hope this is clear to you how to form the determinant D. Just remember the first column will have coefficient of x and the second column will have coefficient of y. This is your first determinant that you need to form. After this you will form a determinant that is dx. Now what is this determinant dx? Again it is of 2 cross 2 order. Fine. Now remember, if the determinant is dx, so what we do is we replace column of coefficient of x, with constant. Now just try to understand, this is very easy. In dx what we do, जो हमारे पास फर्स्ट कॉलम है which is nothing but your coefficient of x, इसको आप replace करेंगे with the constants. So if I observe the first equation, the constant is minus 11, so the first term will be minus 11, and if you observe the second equation, the constant is minus 10, so the second term will be minus 10. This is the first column. What about the second column? The second column will remain as it is. We will make no changes for this. We will just copy the second column as it is. Just remember, if the determinant is dx, so we replace the column which is coefficient of x with the constant term. I hope this is clear to you. After this we need to form one more determinant, that is dy. Now how to form this dy? Again, dy is a determinant of 2 cross 2 order. Fine. Now when we talk about dy, so what we do, we replace the column. I'll write this. Replace column of coefficient of y with constant. So the second column, which is coefficient of y, will be replaced with the constant. So first constant is minus 11 and the second constant was minus 10. Now the first column will remain as it is, that is 5 and 2. I hope this is clear to you. If you want to use Cramer's rule, the first step is you need to check whether the given equations are in this format, that is ax plus by is equal to c. Make sure that the constant is on the right hand side. After that, you will form three determinants. First is determinant D, then second determinant is dx, and the third determinant is dy. If you want to form the determinant D, it is very simple. The first column is nothing but your coefficient of x, and the second column is coefficient of y. To form dx, what we do, we replace the column which is coefficient of x with constant, and the second column remains as it is. To form the third determinant, that is dy, we replace the second column, that is coefficient of y, with constant, and the first column remains as it is. I hope everything is clear to you till now. Now we need to find the solution. If I talk about solution, it is nothing but to find the value of x and the value of y. So there's a formula, there's a direct formula that you need to remember. The first formula is, if you want to find x, then it can be written as determinant dx divided by determinant d. And to find the value of y, the method is determinant dy divided by determinant d. These are the two formulas that we will use, and this is very easy, and I hope you are familiar with the method how to solve the determinant. So we'll just look at this example. We'll try to find the answer. I'll just erase this statement. Fine. So I'll solve the first determinant. If you remember the formula, you need to remember this arrow. First, what we will do is we will multiply 5 with 4, then we will subtract, then I will multiply 3 with 2, 3 multiplied with 2, which gives the value 20 minus 6, which is 14. This is the first required value. After this, we need to find dx. So I will multiply minus 11 with 4, minus 11 with 4, minus 11 multiplied with 4, minus, now multiply 3 with minus 10. 3 multiplied with minus 10. So this will give me minus 44 minus 30. So this is minus 44 plus 30, which is minus 14. I hope this is clear to you. Now moving on to the next determinant. In this again I will multiply 5 with minus 10. 5 into minus 10, then minus, now multiply minus 11 with 2, minus 11 with 2. So this will give me minus 50 minus 22. So this will be minus 50 plus 22, which is minus 28. The value is minus 28. Now we need to find the value of x and y. To find the value of x, the formula is determinant dx divided by determinant d. Now if you look at the value of dx, the value of dx is minus 14 and the value of d is 14. So x will be dx divided by d, that is minus 14 divided by 14, which turns out to be minus 1. And to find the value of y, the formula is dy divided by d, which is minus 28 divided by 14, which will give you the value as minus 2. Therefore, I can say the required solution is x is equal to minus 1 and y is equal to minus 2. I hope this is clear to you. Now we will move on and will solve the questions from your practice set, that is 1.3. Again here in this case I have simultaneous equation. I'll copy the equations for you. The first equation is 3x minus 4y is equal to 10, and the second equation is 4x plus 3y is equal to 5. Now the first condition was the equation should be written in this format: ax plus by is equal to c. We need to make sure that the constant is on the right hand side. If you observe the given equations, the constants are already on the right hand side, so we don't have to make any changes. Now the next step was to form a determinant d. Now the method to form the determinant d is, the first column is nothing but coefficient of x. So the first equation, in the first equation, coefficient of x is 3. So I copy this 3, and for the second equation the coefficient of x is 4. So the second element of the first column will be 4. Similarly, the second column is nothing but coefficient of y. In the first equation the coefficient of y is minus 4, and in the second equation the coefficient of y is plus 3. After this, we need to find determinant dx. Now to find determinant dx, what we do is we replace the column which is coefficient of x with the constant. So we will replace the first column with constant. So in the first column we will have the value 10 and 5, and the second column will remain as it is, minus 4 and 3. After this, we need to find the determinant dy. To form this determinant dy, what we do is we replace the second column, that is coefficient of y, with constant. So the second column will be 10, 5, and the first column will remain as it is, that is 3 and 4. Now we will solve the determinants. You are already familiar with the method. I will draw the arrows. 3 multiplied with 3 minus 4 multiplied with 4. This will give you the value as 9 minus 16, which is 9 plus 16, which will give you the value as 25. So this is the first required value. Now solve the second determinant, that is dx. So 10 multiplied with 3 minus 4 into 5. This will give you 30 minus 20, which is 30 plus 20, which is 50. Now we need to find dy. Again I'll draw the arrows. This will be 3 multiplied with 5 minus 10 multiplied with 4, which will turn out to be 15 minus 40, which is minus 25. I hope everything is clear to you till now. To find the value of x and y, we have a direct formula. I'll copy the solution. We have x is equal to dx upon d and y is equal to dy upon d. So first we'll look for the value of x. X के लिए we need to find the value of dx, which is 50, and the value of d was 25. So this will give you the value as 2. To find the value of y, the formula is dy upon d. So the value of dy is minus 25 and d was 25. So if you simplify this, the answer will be minus 1. So after this, you just write a statement. The required solution is x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 1. I hope this is clear to you. We'll move on to the next sum. In the second sum, again we have simultaneous equations, but if you observe them, we need to make some changes. The constants are on the left hand side. The constant in the first equation is on the left hand side, and the second equation is again not in the required form. The required form was ax plus by is equal to c. Only constant should be on the right hand side, variables x and y should be on the left hand side. So I'll write the equations in the required format. If I write the solution, the first equation will be written as 4x plus 3y, and I will shift this 4 on the right hand side. So this will become plus 4. We don't have to write plus, so I erase this plus sign. And the second equation will be 6x. I need to shift this y term on the left hand side. So this will be plus 5y is equal to 8. I hope this is clear to you. After this, the step is we need to find determinant d. To find determinant d, what we do is we first write the first column as coefficient of x. So this will be 4 and 6, and the second column is nothing but coefficients of y. So this will be 3 and 5. After this, we find determinant dx. To find determinant dx, we replace the first column with the constants. So this will be 4, 8, and the second column remains as it is, 3 and 5. After this, we find determinant dy. In dy, what we do is we replace the second column with the constant. So this will be 4, 8, and the first column will remain as it is, that is 4 and 6. We'll solve this the same method. I'll draw the arrows. This will be 4 into 5 minus 3 into 6, which is 20 minus 18, which is 2. dx को फाइंड कर लेंगे 4 into 5 minus 3 into 8. This will be 20 minus 24, which is minus 4. I hope everything is clear to you till now. After this, dy को फाइंड करेंगे 4 into 8 minus 4 into 6, which will give you the value as 32 minus 24, which is 8. These are the required values. Now we know the value of d, dx and d. So now we will find the value of x. I'll copy the formula again. We have x is equal to determinant dx divided by d, and y is equal to determinant dy divided by determinant d. So we'll just put the values. Dx ka value was minus 4 upon d. I'll just scroll. D was 2. Fine. So the value of d is 2. If you solve this, the value turns out to be minus 2. And to find the value of y, I'll just put the values. Dy was 8 and d is 2. So this will be 4. So the required solution is x is equal to minus 2 and y is equal to 4. This was the required solution. I hope this is clear to you. Moving on to the next sum. If you observe the given equations, they are already in the required format. The constants in both the cases are already on the right hand side, so we don't have to make any changes. We will directly start with the solution. I'll copy the equations. First is x plus 2y is equal to minus 1, and the second equation is 2x minus 3y is equal to 12. First I'll form the determinant d, in which the first column is coefficient of x, so this will be 1, 2, and the second column is coefficients of y, so this will be 2 and minus 3. After this, I will form the determinant dx, in which I will replace the first column with the constant. So this will be minus 1, 12, and the second column will remain as it is, 2 minus 3. Then we find determinant dy. In this, the second column is replaced with the constant, so minus 1, 12, and the first column will remain as it is, so this will be 1 and 2. We'll solve this. I'll draw the arrows. So 1 into minus 3, I'll directly solve this. 1 into minus 3 is minus 3, minus 2 into 2 is 4. So this will be minus 7. Moving on to the next determinant, that is dx. Again I'll draw the arrows. So minus 1 into minus 3 will be 3, minus 2 into 12 is 24. So this will be minus 21. Solving the last determinant, that is dy. 1 into 12 will be 12, minus 1 into 2 is minus 2. So this will be 12 plus 2, which will give you the value as 14. Now we will find the value of x. The formula was x is equal to dx upon d and y is equal to dy upon d. So we'll just substitute the values. Dx was minus 21 divided by, I'll just take the value, it is minus 7. D ka value was minus 7, and for dy the value is 14 and d is minus 7. If you simplify this, minus minus will get cancelled. 7 into 1, 7 into 3 is 21. So the value is 3, and in this case the value will be minus 2. So these are the required answer. We'll just write a statement. The required solution is x is equal to 3 and y is equal to minus 2. I hope the solutions are clear to you. Now we'll move on to the next sum. If you again observe the equations, the constants are already on the right hand side. So we don't have to make any changes. It is already in the standard form. So we'll start the solution. I'll just copy the equations. 6x minus 4y is equal to minus 12, and the second equation is 8x minus 3y is equal to minus 2. We'll find the first determinant, that is D, in which the first column is coefficient of x. So 6, 8, and the second column is coefficients of y. So this is minus 4, minus 3. इसके बाद I will find determinant dx, in which the first column is replaced with the constant. So minus 12, minus 2, and the second column will remain as it is, minus 4, minus 3. इसके बाद we will look for dy. In this, what we do, we replace the second column with the constant. So second column will be minus 12, minus 2, and the first column will remain as it is, that is 6 and 8. So we'll quickly find the values of all the determinants. I'll draw the arrows for all the determinants and I'll directly solve this. 6 into minus 3 will give me minus 18, minus 4 into plus 8 will be minus 32. So if you simplify this, minus 18 plus 32, minus 18 plus 32 will give you the value as 14. Moving on to the next determinant, minus 12 into minus 3, this will give me the value as plus 36, minus 4 into minus 2 will give me 8. So this is 36 minus 8, which will give me the value as 28. The value will be 28. Solving the next determinant, 6 into minus 2 is minus 12, minus 12 into 8, this will be 96. The value will be minus 96. So if you simplify this, minus 12 minus minus plus 96. So the value will be 84. I hope this is clear to you. Now quickly we'll find the value of x and y. We have a direct formula. X के लिए the formula is dx upon d, and for y the formula is determinant dy upon d. We'll just substitute the values. Dx का value is 28 and the value of d is 14. The value is 14, and for the second determinant dy, the value is 84 divided by 14. So if you simplify this, the value will be 7 into 2, 7 into 4, and again if you simplify this, 2 into 1, 2 multiplied with 2. So x ka value turns out to be 2. I hope this is clear to you till now. And if you solve this, if you divide this by 14, so the answer will be 14 into 1 into 6. Yes, the value is 6. So now we have the solution. We'll again write a final statement. The required solution is x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 6. I hope the solution is clear to you till now. Now we have two more questions. We'll look into this. The fifth equation is given to you. If you observe this, the variables have been changed. Instead of x we have m, and in place of y we have n. So no issue with this, we can take any variable. Now looking at the condition, the constants are already placed on the right hand side, so we don't have to make any changes. We'll directly form the determinants. I'll copy the equation. The first equation is 4m plus 6n is equal to 54, and the second equation is 3m plus 2n is equal to 28. First I will find the determinant d, in which the first column is nothing but your coefficients of x. So this will be 4, 3, and the second column is coefficients of y. So this will be 6 and 2. इसके बाद we will find determinant dx. To find dx, what we do, we replace the first column with the constant. So this will be 54, 28, and the second column will remain as it is. After this, we will find determinant dy. To find dy, what we do is we replace the second column with the constant. So this will be 54, 28, and the first column will remain as it is, 4, 3. We'll quickly find the values. I'll just draw the arrows. Fine. So we'll start with the first. 4 into 2 will give me 8, minus 6 into 3 is minus 18. So this will be minus 10. The first value is minus 10. If you look at this, 54 multiplied with 2, this will be 108, minus, if you multiply 6 with 28, so this will give me the value as 168. If you simplify this, the value will turn out to be minus 60. Fine, I hope this is clear to you. Now moving on to the next, 4 multiplied with 28, this will give me the value as 1. Wait a minute, I'll just erase this. I'll write this again. The value will be 112 minus. If you multiply 54 by 3, so the value will turn out to be, the value will be 162. Yes, the value will turn out to be 162. If you simplify this, the value will be minus 50. I hope this is clear to you. Now again, we have direct formulas. So we'll just copy the formula. To find the value of x, the formula is determinant dx divided by d. And to find the value of y, the formula is determinant dy divided by d. We'll quickly copy the values. Dx was minus 60 upon the value of d was minus 10, and the value of dy is minus 50, and the value of d is again minus 10. Minus minus will get cancelled. So the value of x is 6 and the value of y is 5. I hope this is clear to you. Again, we copy the statement. Wait a minute. I'll just write this again. The required solution is, x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 5. I hope this is clear to you. Now moving on to the next sum, which is the last sum of this practice set 1.3. If you observe the equations, if you look at the equation, the first equation is already in the required format. The constant is already on the right hand side. But if you look at the second equation, the constant is on the right hand side, but the equation is not in proper format. So what we can do is we can modify the second equation. Even if you don't want this, you can easily proceed with the same equation, but if you want, you can still modify this. For example, the equation is x minus y upon 2 is equal to 1 upon 2. I can say that this equation is nothing but x minus 1 upon 2 multiplied with y is equal to 1 upon 2. Fine. If I want to simplify this, if I want to get rid of this fraction, so what I can do, I can multiply this equation by 2. If I multiply this equation by 2, so this equation will be 2x minus y is equal to 1. So if I want, I can use this equation or I can use this equation. It's up to you. Both the methods are correct. So for this particular case, I will go with this second format. So again, I will write the equation. First is 2x plus 3y is equal to 2, and the second equation is 2x minus y is equal to 1. I hope there is no doubt with this. If you want, I would suggest to, when you practice this exercise, go with the first equation. If you want, you can try solving this question by using this equation, the equation in this format, and let me know in the comment section if the answer is same. Fine. So we'll first find determinant D. First column is nothing but your coefficient of x. So this is 2 and 2. Second column is your coefficients of y. So this will be 3 minus 1. इसके बाद we will find dx. dx के लिए the first column is replaced with the constant. So this will be 2, 1. And the second column remains as it is, 3 minus 1. After this, we will find dy. To find dy, what we do is we replace the second column with the constant. So 2, 1, and the first column remains as it is, 2 and 2. I'll quickly find the values of the determinants. 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, minus 3 into 2 is 6. So this will be minus 8. This is the first value. Now, looking for the solution for determinant dx, 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, minus 3 into 1 will be 3. So this is minus 5. We'll find the value for dy as well. I'll just draw the arrows. 2 into 1 is 2, minus 2 multiplied with 2 will give me minus 4. So this is minus 2. I hope this is clear to you. This is the required value. Now, we have the direct formulas. To find x, the formula is determinant dx divided by d. dx ka value is minus 5 upon the value of d was minus 8. So minus minus will get cancelled. So the value is 5 upon 8. I hope this is clear to you. Now to find y, the formula is determinant dy divided by determinant d. So the value of dy is minus 2 upon the value of d was minus 8. Minus minus will get cancelled. 2 into 1, 2 into 4. So the value of y turns out to be 1 upon 4. After this, you will just write the final statement. The required solution is x is equal to 5 by 8 and y is equal to 1 upon 4. I hope all the solutions are clear to you. With this, practice set 1.3 is done. All the solutions have been done, including the activity. I hope this was helpful to you. So this was all about practice set 1.3, in which we looked at Cramer's rule. In the next video lecture, we will look at practice set 1.4. I hope this was helpful to you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. Thank you for watching this video. We'll meet in the next lecture.